I'm Trish. I work as a visual artist, a painter. I've become mostly like a muralist now too. I do a lot of like large scale work, which is crazy because a lot of my stuff, I started off with very like small scale canvases, but now I'm essentially covering massive walls with artwork, which is insane. And I've been full-time for a few months now, which is like crazy to think about, but it's like a dream come true. I always say that I started painting again, and I say again because I was always a creative person, but really didn't touch my art supplies for most of university, which was like 4 or 5 years. So painting was very much a personal thing. There was no intention to monetize it, make it into a business at all. I was just getting into the routine of painting every day. I essentially like locked myself in my apartment for like a month and was like, I'm gonna just create something every single day, even if it's like a very simple sketch. I just want to say I created something. Started very slowly and then just like was all at once. Like it was as soon as I kind of found a style and it was like consistently having sort of consistent themes in my work, people, like the interest started growing in it. With regards to fails, I don't know if there was one big fail, but it's just like a series of small fails that some can have like a pretty big impact. It's a constant learning process. I learned a lesson like 2 weeks ago. It was to have a contract. I learned the contract lesson because I had a client that I had trouble with, and it was thankfully a very like minor project. It wasn't like a giant mural or a canvas that I spent a lot of time and money on. Especially with art, it's like the business side of things is like the exact opposite muscle for artists, right? Like we're really good at being introverted and like creative and stuff like that, but when it comes to sending invoices to people and making people sign a contract, I would always feel kind of weird about that kind of stuff. It just seems so like how was I operating without a contract for so long? Especially because I'm working with big companies, right? And you need to protect yourself. This advice is really specific, but I think it's like very practical. I like giving practical advice. A big thing I see with a lot of people who want to pursue art and spend more time on their side hustle and turn it into like the full-time gig is the issue I think they run into is that they're working full-time or they're in school full-time. So something I did right after undergrad was I didn't worry about getting like an adult job. I was serving and bartending, and I did that for like a year and a half while I was finishing up school, but also well after I graduated, because I was like, I need a job that is flexible in terms of hours. It doesn't take all of my mental energy. I want to save that for creativity and creative endeavors like outside of work. So something like serving and bartending was like such a blessing. It's okay to not feel like you need to, do a full-time job just because it's like the next logical step. Like take a step back if you need to, do what is going to give you time.